This is a big game for us right now. We're kind of backed in the corner. Having to win this game to keep chances of going to our fourth straight bowl game alive. And, I think our guys come out pretty focused, ready to practice, and ready for the task at hand. Obviously, a lot of history available for this team. Mississippi State's never been to four straight bowl games, so that opportunity is still alive. And from what they've told me, we've never won in the state of Arkansas, so we have a great opportunity there to do that as well. So some great opportunities for us this week.
First up, we have Bob Holt from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Coach. How you doing today?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good. Hey, I just wondered if you could give an update on your quarterbacks, if you have any idea who's going to start or how those guys are doing health-wise.
Yeah, they're all doing much, much better, and I don't know who's going to start yet for us. Obviously, we've got to see who's the healthiest and who's had the best week of practice.
Do you anticipate that going all the way, like a game-time decision, or when do you think you might know?
Yeah, I'd know game time. Probably right after warm-ups on game day.
Next is Nate Allen Sports.
Coach, just given the situation, you kind of have to come up with three different offensive scenarios for your team this week on how you approach this game.
Well, we're going to run our offense, and we recruit guys, and everybody, I think probably more challenging for the defense because every one of the quarterbacks has their own little twist that they bring. We don't change our offense depending on who's in the game. I think they just kind of execute the offense a little differently and bring a little different flavor to it. So, for us, we get our plan in and we expect our guys to be able to execute it. And I know each one of them probably has a little different strengths, and that we have to highlight, and some weaknesses we'll defend against within their abilities.
Arkansas has been pretty vulnerable to the big pass this year. Does that change in any way how your strategy, how you employ your quarterbacks this game?
No, for us, we just, every game we try to take some shots. And if you look, they've given up some big pass plays this year, but a lot of them, they've had guys right there in coverage, and other team just makes plays. So, I think there's a lot to that. It's not like guys are running wide open all over the field. So they play pretty good defense. They have guys in position to make plays, and I'm sure with their guys are growing and developing. That you see them making more and more plays every week. So that'll be a big challenge for us.
Thank you.
That's the Dwayne Rankin of the Montgomery Advertiser.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, last week against Alabama, they hit you with the back shoulder with Norwood. And I just had a couple questions just about the back shoulder throw. A, why is it so difficult to defend? And B, what is the best way to defend the play?
Well, obviously, the best way to defend the play is to just dominate the receiver right from the line of scrimmage, where you can turn to the ball, you have him pinned in your hip, and you're riding him out of bounds. That's the best way to defend the play. What makes it tricky is, and as soon as a receiver, he's looking to get going, and burst in the corner's got his back turned to the line of scrimmage, doesn't see the ball and trying as fast as he can to stay in position to stay on top so he doesn't get run by. The receiver, as he looks back, can see the ball, especially if he anticipates a back shoulder fade. At that point, he, as he goes, he knows where he wants to stop. So as he gets a little bit, if he's even to slightly, with the receiver, even with the corner, he's accelerating. The corner's thinking, I got to cut him off to stay on top to not give up the deep pass. And that's when he can put the brakes on and adjust and catch it off the back shoulder. Not an easy ball to throw because there's a lot of location involved in it, of where you want to put it on the receiver. And each receiver, to me, catches it differently. Some guys you like to throw high back shoulder. Some guys you like to throw more low back shoulder, low shoulder. And, just whether in their comfort level.
Thanks, Coach.
Next is Michael Bonner of the Jackson Clarion Ledger.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. I'm wondering, at the point of the season does Damian Williams have a grasp of the entire playbook, or would the playbook kind of be, whittled down a little bit? What's kind of his grasp of the playbook so far?
Well, to me, he does. Damian came in as a very hard worker, a very intelligent young man. So I think opportunities he had in training camp to kind of learn the system, being around two veteran guys, really helped. And then honestly, there, the fact that we've had a couple different injuries at the position throughout the year, where he's, he's been the two going into games. He's gotten reps, he's gotten preparation. So, I for us, he's comfortable in the whole entire offense and what he's going to do. And we'll try to do is protect him a little bit in in how much he has to check or how many different adjustments he has to make, and just kind of try to take some of that pressure off of him.
Thanks, Dan. Tom Murphy, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Dan, the process of building up and competing in the SEC West, how difficult is that? And then if you're not one of the super spenders like in Alabama, can you expect cyclical type nature to building up and then cycling down some?
Well, I think obviously that this conference, and especially in the West, especially you look at as you try to build a program and what expectations are within a program. I know here we've gone to 3 straight bowl games. We're trying to get to our 4th, which would be the first time in school history, and that ever happened. But more than that, fans looking. That'd be great for us, but we're not satisfied with that. We're looking find a way to win a championship, and I think one of the biggest challenges in the SEC is right now, especially the West, for you to take that next step from just a winning team to a team that's competing for championships. We've won 5 consecutive national championships now in the West. So the next step is not just, hey, we're going to win the West, or hey, we're going to have a chance to win the SEC. The next step right now really is you're going to be the national champion team, and that's a bigger step, and that's you kind of a few steps in there missing when you're building your program in the West that you have to leap right to the top from as you build the program, but. I think every program has its own unique personality, and I don't know how much budget really has to do with it. You have to, you match, and each school has its own personality, and you have to make sure your personality is matching with the school's personality and how you build your program.
I appreciate the perspective. And Coach, are Prescott and Russell both cleared at this point, or do one or the other still need clearance before they're ready Saturday?
Well, they're both limited and stuff in practice right now, and we'll, but I mean, a lot of that is us limiting them to get their health right for the weekend. Of hey, they can practice today, but if they practice today, they'd be sore tomorrow, and and what day do we want them to do, and how much do we want them to do? All of that stuff factors in. So our biggest goal is to get guys healthy for Saturday right now.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Glenn Gilbo, Gwinnett, Louisiana.
Coach, having played A&M twice, how much do you think Manziel improved this year over last year, and in what areas?
Well, boy, I don't know. He was pretty good both years we played him. We certainly held him a lot more in check running the ball this year than we did last year, which was part of our game plan, and he threw for a lot more this year. So, I think the one thing he does a good job of is he takes what defense. I know he takes what defenses give him, and I think that is. I don't know if that's an improvement from this year or last year, because he also does so much, and so much of his games is improvising with outside of the system. So, like we said, it came out about 30% of their offense was him scrambling around improvising, whether it's scrambling and throwing or scrambling and running. 30% of their total offense, yards, scores, first downs, it all averaged out that way. Was him improvising, which is, I think that's what makes him special. But, last year he ran a lot against us. This year he threw a lot against us. So it just shows he has the ability to take what people give him.